So the new iPad Pro is here. Um, while I personally have yet to see it in person, I wanted to take this video to highlight why I feel it would be important for my personal usage case. I did a similar video to this a while back, and I pulled that video because of some commenters not necessarily sticking to the material. In fact, one person who was pretty much being a troll, if I remember correctly, said something along the lines of, blank Apple, here comes Microsoft Surface Pro 4, whatever. So I took some time to rethink my approach, and now I think I know how I want to address this. I own my late father's iPad mini, that's the one on the left. I've seen the iPad Air in person, that's the one in the middle. And on the one on the right is the iPad Pro. So why do I feel the Pro would be best for me? Item number one, screen size. The bigger your screen, the less you have to magnify. I'll give you an example. If I fire up Zoom Text for the Macintosh, right now Zoom Text is at about 3x magnification. That's on a 21.5-inch screen. Excuse me. Now if I zoom in,
4x, 5x, 6x, 7x.
This is the amount of screen. This is how far I had to zoom in to have the same kind of view point from my current distance from the screen on my 13-inch MacBook Air.
6x, 5, 4, 3x.
Okay. Similarly speaking, if I use my iPhone, I have to bring it up pretty close to my face. Not necessarily to be touching, but enough to where if I wanted to use it at a quote-unquote normal distance from other people, that other people would use theirs at, I would have to use VoiceOver. And that's again because of the 5.5-inch screen. The bigger the screen, the easier things are to see. So my hope is that the 12.5-inch screen of the iPad Pro would be far easier to navigate in regards to iOS. Another reason is the smart keyboard. Now this particular reason I'm not 100% sold on, only because I haven't seen it yet. I haven't had a chance to type on it yet. But right now, what I'm doing is, for class, is I use my iPhone in airplane mode to take notes with the Bluetooth keyboard. And if I leave that keyboard resting for about 15 minutes, which does happen a lot because the classes I'm in aren't necessarily sit down and take notes. We have debates, we have discussions about the material, we voice our opinions regarding the material. And as such, sometimes I do type, sometimes I don't. But if I leave the keyboard resting for 15 minutes, it will become disconnected from the iPhone, and sometimes it can be a bit tricky to repair it. And while I have considered the possibility of using a Lightning keyboard, I just don't know how well that would work out. The iPhone is currently sitting on top of a stand that I use to have the phone's display at eye level, number one. Number two, I also use it to scan in materials with OCR software on the iPhone. So, you know, that's another possibility, is a smart keyboard. As to why I feel the iPad Pro would benefit me. The other reason has to do with software. Okay? Most people out there don't utilize what I do, something called Voice Dream Reader, for reading things like Bookshare, books, websites, PDFs. The software is very similar in a sense to the Zoom Text web reader that I sometimes use in videos. I've used it in past videos to have Alex, the electronic voice, read articles to us. Voice Stream Reader does the exact same thing on iOS. Voice Stream Writer, I utilize that for taking notes. I can customize my font size, I can customize the spacing, I can customize the colors to a truly optimal solution for my needs. Another piece of software that I use on a regular basis is Zoom Vision Assist. Vision Assist is a video magnifier app that runs on the iPhone and iPad and allows you to scan materials more easily in terms of being able to read them from a distance. Again, bigger screen, less I have to magnify. So you can see the benefit there. Oh, one more thing I forgot to point out in regards to the screen. Bigger screen, easier to navigate, because on my iPhone, I do have to use VoiceOver to get some of the basic navigation out of the way to open up Voice Stream Writer, and the reason for that is because of the bright fluorescent lights in the classroom that result in a very high amount of glare on the screen. My hope, again, I have yet to see this in person, but from what I could tell, bigger screen, again, easier to navigate, probably less glare. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Now, I did put up this video before, as I'd mentioned. So, a couple of you have commented, why not just use the Microsoft Surface Pro? I've seen the new Surface Pro. I like the weight. I like the hardware. I do not like the software. Now let's put this into perspective. The iPad Pro is $7.99, and just about all the software that I've mentioned is free. In fact, all of it is free. And it gets what I need. I can do what I need it to do. Microsoft's Windows is what's running on the Surface. And with Windows comes the inherent maintenance requirements of the operating system. Like with iOS, I can just get my work done. I don't have to worry about keeping up with virus stuff. Whereas on Windows, I pretty much have to do that straight out of the box. $7.99 for the iPad Pro for 32 gigs. Now, a lot of you are thinking, well, that's expensive for an iPad. Yes, it is. $8.99 for the Surface Pro 4, the base model, which I believe was 64 gigabytes. However, again, we're looking at a desktop class operating system. As a result, there's a piece of software out there, like I was showing you. This is Zoom Text for the Macintosh. It was actually bred off of the success of Zoom Text for Windows and the demand for an accessible solution on the Macintosh. Zoom Text for Windows would be an additional $400. Okay? So that's $1,200 just to get the basics out of the way. And a lot of you are probably going to tell me, well, why not just use NVDA? Here's the thing. I'm looking at the iPad Pro as a class tool, as a supplement to my iMac, to utilize as a class tool, and yes, for entertainment on, off times. But here's the thing. With Zoom Text for Windows, I would have to relearn everything, okay? The Zoom Text commands on the Macintosh have become muscle memory. And I don't feel comfortable having to spend a total of $1,200, relearn something, scour the Windows universe for software. Because one of the things that I remember regarding Windows in my time using it, aside from the need to keep viruses and malware at bay, was that if you wanted to download something, and you're looking for some sort of freeware, you have to go to Google. Not all the software is reputable. I've had issues where even though I would download software that's legit, they would sneak in a lot of bloatware that I didn't need. It's just something that I'm not willing to go back to. Okay? So that's basically why I feel the iPad Pro would be a perfect fit for my personal needs. But what do you guys think? Thank you for watching. Comments are welcome, and have a nice day.